Not because I'm soft. I'm not soft. But if you want to wrestle, let's wrestle. If you have a problem with me, let's settle with it. If you can't beat me on the mat, try to beat me in the parking lot. But if you can't beat me on the mat, I doubt you can do much to me in the parking lot.
The previous administration took all the guys. Wink, wink.
I just want some ice cream, man. I just want some ice cream.
All right, folks. Welcome back to the Shots Fired podcast. This is episode 15. As always, I am Eric Schares alongside Mack Reiter. I don't know if we're getting some new listeners here or whatnot. Hopefully we are. So some of you people, if you're new around here, we're kind of sort of a wrestling podcast. I guess you could kind of call it that. Also, just a lot of drunken stories. I would say we're very serious about not being taken very seriously. And then, Mack Reiter, he knows everything there is about wrestling, and I like to think I know everything, but I don't know anything. So that's kind of a quick little whatever of what we are. So, Mack, how you doing this week?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm excited to get back on there. We were a little late yesterday. I just don't have it in me anymore. I'm getting up in age. I woke up super early to watch the cadets, got up at 3:30 in the morning, and by the time it came time to record at 9 o'clock that night, I was sound asleep.
Well, you should have been peaking for Worlds. I put this solely on you. You should have been training your sleep schedule for weeks, months ahead of time.
I'll get ready for juniors. I will do that. I will get up every morning at 3 a.m. and go to bed at like 7, so I'm ready for juniors.
Where is juniors?
Slovakia, I believe.
Slovakia. All right, so we're going to need to Google the time. We probably should have done that before the podcast.
That's pretty close to Croatia, if I know my European geography.
You would think so.
I don't think it's all that far.
Europe's not.
But we don't
that
actually
big,
know if it's even in Slovakia either. That was just me answering it to sound intelligent.
Oh God.
So
this is where like
it is Slovakia. I can confirm that.
There we go.
Just a quick Google Maps search.
Is it
Slovenia? That is close to Croatia. So
okay.
That doesn't do us any good.
Kind of close. Yeah. All right.
It's got to be a similar time zone.
Similar. I trust you. I believe you.
We'll go with it. It's good enough.
Okay. So, we're a day late again. Sorry. Life got in the way, I guess. I'm going to try to keep getting it out every Tuesday that we can. I think I'm good to go next Monday to get it out Tuesday. So, hopefully we get back on track next week. 4th of July tomorrow. So, you guys are going to have to put in some overtime to listen to us.
This podcast should only be listened to tomorrow near a body of water with a cold beer in hand.
It should. Hopefully you have a waterproof case, though, so you don't ruin your phone. Yeah. So if you made it this far in the podcast, you're like, why the heck would I listen to these guys? It's just mostly just muttering and just making up BS, talking nothing about wrestling. If you're thinking that, just set your phone down, leave it on play, walk away, come back in anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour and 20 minutes. We don't know how long we're going to be. You already made it this far. You might as well just do that. So, there we go.
Listens.
Yes, we need listens. You have to listen. Okay. So, did any wrestling happen recently?
Yeah, man. Cadet Worlds is going on right now in Croatia.
Okay.
Which is not far from Slovakia, which we have just learned. I don't know about you. I got a nice glass of red wine from California, but in my mind, it was like, well, Croatia's not far from Italy. Italy's got good wine. I got to drink wine tonight.
Okay. In my mind, I was thinking I always drink Michelob Ultras. Tonight is just a normal night. Let's drink Michelob Ultras.
This is going to shock you, but I also have 2 Michelob Ultras.
Well, hey, we got to watch our carb intake, because you don't burn too many calories in carbs podcasting, so.
Yeah. And I clearly could use some help in that department.
Exactly. Hey, I just ran a half marathon last weekend, so
good for you.
I'm covered for a while, right?
Yeah, that you can coast that one into Christmas.
I was trying to work into our podcast. I was going to tell everyone, I'm going to run 1/100th of a mile for every single listen we got. I didn't work that out.
That would have been 1,300 or 13,100 listens.
I think I only had to run like a football field after last week because I think we had some technical difficulties, so only like 3 people listened to us.
Thank you to those 3.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Probably my dad and one of your brothers, and that was about it.
Not
so thanks,
Eddie.
guys.
We just found out Eddie just didn't even know what a podcast was. I found that out this weekend.
Should we give a couple sentences on each one of your brothers? Because we keep referencing them, and I feel like we have some people that are like, who the hell are these brothers that we're talking about?
Yeah.
Or
Joe's the older brother, so there's 6 of us kids. Joe, he's the oldest. He's the one that's got his whole life together. He's got everything figured out, lives in Gilbertville, got 3 kids, fireman. He just loves wrestling, coaches the Bosco Kids Club. Then there's me, don't really have it all figured out, but I'm just kind of stumbling through. Audrey, she doesn't really count. Then there's Eddie. Eddie's a little special, but he's a little slow in the uptake, especially when it comes to anything that requires any kind of knowledge or intelligence. Great carpenter, though. If you need any carpentry work done, Reiter Construction is very good. They do good work. And then lastly, Bart. Bart's pretty similar to me. I think we're 2 pretty similar in ways. But he lives in Raymond. Eddie lives down in Des Moines. Bart's a lot smarter and kind of on top of technology and just kind of common sense stuff.
I think it's funny that you didn't even mention one of your siblings.
There's Ellie. Ellie's the youngest. That's Ellie.
Yeah, I think Eddie's my favorite personally. I know that's really going to hurt you, Joe. I have a lot of good talks with Joe. But Eddie I just love him. I lived with him for a year. He's just kind of a wild card sometimes.
There's nobody else like Eddie.
Yeah, exactly. And then Bart, I love Bart, but he's not quite as much of a wild card, so it's just not as entertaining to me, I guess.
That's the Reiter family.
There we go, Reiter family. Okay, this podcast is absolutely awesome right now. We've now applied to, I think, 10 people that are going to like what we've been saying. So
7.5 minutes in, we've talked about the Reiter family.
I think that's at least 4 or 5 episodes now in a row where we've just talked about nothing relevant to wrestling for the first whole quarter of the podcast.
That may be what they come for, though. It's hard to say at this point.
We're going to find out. Okay.
Let's talk Cadet Worlds.
There we go. All right. I was not as dedicated as Mack was to watching Cadet Worlds. You stayed up. You actually watched it. I didn't. I just looked at results. What do you got from watching it?
So obviously I got up to watch Greg. Greg's a Pinnacle guy. He's been with us for, at this point, probably 6, 7, 8 years, maybe, probably 8 years, since he was just a little tyke, probably. But he's a kid that, one of my favorite kids I've ever got to coach. It probably, I obviously don't pick favorites, but try not to anyway. But him and Taylor Venz are 2 of them that are right up there. And he won Cadet Worlds last year at heavyweight. Was the goal was to go back and repeat, obviously, but he made the cadet team. Obviously, he's the best in the country at cadet level for sure. And then he went and won the junior trials pretty handily too. So his plan, and I think, he obviously went and wrestled in cadets, but I don't know that he ever really wanted to. I think he just wanted to wrestle juniors, and just kind of really focus on juniors. And he probably, I think he needs to get his elbow cleaned up a little bit. There's nothing serious in there, but just kind of a little scope and get some things cleaned up in it. So they were kind of thinking about doing that right after junior trials, and then he'd be ready to go by September when the Junior Worlds came around. And the Pinnacle coaches, and not so much me, but more Brandon and Jared, kind of sat him down and said, hey, you've got an opportunity to go win 2 world titles this summer. And that's, I don't know if that's ever been done before. And kind of talked him into it, and then he was all in and super excited about it. So this kid's somebody that it doesn't matter where he's at. I mean, I'm cheering for Greg anywhere. And so it was an easy decision to get up early and watch him compete at the World Championships. And he looked great first couple matches. I thought he looked really good. Ran into the Russian in the semis that kind of, I don't know, somehow found a way to kind of neutralize Greg's offense. His singles and his ankle picks are so good that I was kind of hoping to see him attack a little bit more, and he just didn't pull the trigger a lot there in the semis, and ended up winning 2-2, but, it was a match that kind of surprised me a little bit. And then I watched the Iranian that he would have in the finals, and I watched him in the semis, and the guy was just a big man. It's hard to call a cadet a man because he's not supposed to be. But I think he teched his guy in the semis and had 7 push-outs. So it's just, the Iranians are phenomenal at positioning. They get an underhook and they have the best position in the world. And, that's where they live. Underhook, push, 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 drive you out, get your point. Go back, underhook, push, 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 drive you out, get a point. And when, with Greg probably weighed in somewhere around 225 and the Iranian had to weigh in all of 243 and likely weighed a little bit more come time the match actually was wrestled. But, he just looked to be bigger than Greg, and Greg just didn't have a lot of answers for it. And lost 7-4 on 4 push-outs, a shot clock point, and 1 takedown. So it sucks. I feel bad for Greg. It's weird. The kid just got second in the world, and, we're disappointed. But I think that speaks to the kind of talent the kid has. So that's a long-winded coach's take on a guy that they're really pulling for.
No, I mean, that's kind of how I looked at it too. He didn't give a point until the semis, I believe, right?
Yeah, because the first 3 were 30-0 in 4 minutes and 35 seconds.
Yeah. Wow. And then even in the semis, you watched it, obviously. I just kind of looked at updates. It looked like it maybe still wasn't really all that close because one of the Russians' points at the end was just from a caution, I would assume, where Greg was just kind of trying that.
It was a push out. Greg went out, and then they cautioned and warned him for fleeing, which I actually at the time was worried because that made it 2-2, but I was worried that held criteria. But Greg's 2-point takedown still had criteria because that was only 10 seconds left at that point. So, I wouldn't say that he dominated that match in any way. It ended up 2-2. I don't think the Russian was really ever. I never felt he was close to. He never was close to scoring on his own offense. He had a couple chances off Greg's shots, but nothing really that close. His best offense in that match was going to be push-outs. But then, Greg just kind of, he just didn't seem to pull a trigger like he was early on in the tournament. Maybe that's a testament to the better wrestler. The Russian was good. And the Iranian was good. He's a good wrestler. He's a big kid. So.
Well, fortunately for him, he got second. Like you said, it wasn't what he wanted, but now he can move on from cadets and go to juniors where he'll wrestle some younger guys.
Younger guys and smaller guys. And I think that'll be a big deal. He goes from 110 at cadets and junior weight is 97. So, that's a little bit more of a natural weight for him. He'll lose about 10 pounds or so to get down to 213, but, that won't be a problem at all for him. So I think it's a much more natural weight, and I don't really worry so much. Him getting second in cadets doesn't make me think he can't compete at juniors, or can't win junior. I would still think he can win juniors.
Mm-hmm. I think it's just such a toss-up at some of these world tournaments. Like, it just goes to show how amazing it is for, like, Kyle Snyder, Jordan Burroughs to win that many in a row. Because I wouldn't say it's quite a coin flip, I guess, when you get into some of these matches. But, like,
your margin of error is so small.
Yeah, the difference between first place and not even getting
0-1.
Pulled back is like nothing in some of these. So just the guys that can do it year after year, it's just even more amazing in this sport than many others, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible what some of them guys are doing for sure. So
I'd like to give some credit to Croatia though. You know, they pulled all the machinery out of that shed that they're wrestling in. They swept up the straw and all the manure that was on the floor, rolled some mats out, and it looks like they put together a pretty good tournament.
So I saw Greg's parents, obviously, are over there in the background in one of the matches, so I'm excited to talk to them when they get back and find out what it was like over there. I think Croatia's supposed to be nice. They're seemingly not a terrible place, I guess. I don't know.
They're in the World Cup quarterfinals, and you know they're better than the U.S.
That's one man's opinion. We'd be in the quarters too if we just got in.
Yeah, well, lost to that Panamanian team that got dead last. Oh yeah. Hey, condolences to you, man. Your favorite team got beat out of the World Cup. Got dead last. Like I said, Panama. That's got to be your favorite team, doesn't it?
Yep. Yeah, that sucks. That hurt.
The all Panama team.
One of these days, we're going to figure out copyright infringement laws, and we are going to get Panama on as our opening song.
I think we can do it.
I mean, we only had not a lot of people listen to this thing. I don't think Van Halen's going to be listening.
I'll ask my dad if he cares. You ask Eddie if he cares. And then if they're good,
yeah,
you know, that's all of our listeners right there.
If we get 2 approvals, then we're good.
There we go. That's the majority. Yep. Okay.
The ayes have it. Rest of the U.S. Guys, I had not got a chance to watch this Figueroa much. That dude's awesome. He is so fast. His first match, he had the Chinese guy, and hit him up with the perfect, like, Jordan Burroughs-esque blast double that was so cool. The kid can move, man, and then he just rolled the Russian 10-0 in the quarters, I think, and he ended up falling in the finals as well. But yeah, he had it. I mean, second in the world. It's a pretty good performance. So
absolutely.
Day one, we had two guys get second, and then there's the Abe Assad. Well, I guess not day one anymore. Day 1 and 2. Abe Assad got beat, but then came back through the backside, won some good matches, looked really good coming through the backside, and ended up taking the bronze. So 2 seconds and a third out of the first group of 5. It's not too bad.
No, for sure. Abe Assad beat Azerbaijan, Turkey, Mongolia, Germany. So got some decent countries in there. So I think U.S. has a chance at one more gold.
One gold,
Matthew
one
Ramos.
more bronze.
1 gold, 1 bronze. Okay.
Yeah.
So, while I was waiting for you to hop on the podcast, I kind of did a little research into the last couple of years. So, this year, the U.S. still has a chance to get 7 medals. They got a lot of work to do to get there, but it's still possible.
I think we only have a chance to get 5 now.
Are you sure?
Well, we had 3 in day 1, and I think we only have a chance at 2 more tomorrow.
Oh, we get 7. You got 1, 2, 3. Chance for 3 bronze and 1 first.
Tomorrow we got 4 guys going?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, well, I think somebody needs to be pulled back in. Anyways, I don't know. Whatever. No one's listening to this.
Well, nobody can be pulled.
Facts are irrelevant.
I can tell
important.
you that you are wrong on that. We only have Ramos is in the finals and Ferrari's pulled back in.
who's the lightest guy? Lammer. Lammer lost in the semis, so he's got a shot.
Oh, okay.
1, 2, 3. Ramos is going for first.
Oh, I see. Yep. The article I was reading didn't pull the guys in the semis. So Facundo. He must have lost in the semis as well.
Yes, he lost in the semis.
Okay. All right, you're right. So Josh Saunders is out. He's the only one out.
Yes. And then,
oh, come on. He lost to Ravinder.
No, and then Ferrari. Did you say Ferrari? He can come back too.
Yeah, he's pulled back in.
Yeah.
So the headline I read, Ramos is in the finals, Ferrari pulled in.
So I'm right. Thanks. I already knew that, but thanks for saying that anyway, just confirming that.
You're right.
So there you go.
I'm wrong.
Okay, so that's what we still have this year. That would only be 1 first potentially, which, hey, that kind of sucks, but still 7 medals is pretty cool. Last year we had 7 medals.
Okay.
One.
How many golds? At least 1.
3.
Oh.
You had 3. You had Stevenson. You had
not cadets last year.
Oh, god damn it. Yeah. Anyways, there was 3. I need to look it up. I just had it. But
did we win the team title last year?
No, we did not.
Dang
it. And then the year before was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We had 5 or
Okay.
So.
Well, yeah. I mean, we get 7 medals. Yeah, that's pretty dang good still.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I was looking. Oh, this is great podcasting here. We had 4 firsts last year, actually.
That's a good year.
6 medals total. So.
Well, we can out medal them.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. I say we can get more medals, and then 2 of those guys were 13th and 17th. So, those guys didn't really give much points, and that's probably kind of what it was. But
right.
2 years ago we had 7 medals, so. There's that. And then
I think that USA Wrestling's doing a phenomenal job. I mean, there were years back where we'd send a cadet team over, we'd come home with 1 or 2 medals.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's, if we don't, any weight we don't medal at, you're kind of like, shoot, like what happened there? Or at least wrestle in a match for a medal. And, I think we've really kind of gotten spoiled over the past years, with the junior team, the senior team winning it. USA Wrestling's in a great spot right now. And it's pretty fun to watch.
I always think it's funny going back to kind of what we talked about before for when we're talking seniors, this guy could win it. And then we'll say, this guy's a medal threat. And it's kind of like, if you can win it, you're a medal threat.
Yeah.
I mean, you could maybe sneak in and just get lucky, but you can't really bank on a guy sneaking in and getting lucky. So it's unless you have some super stud like a Cael Snyder at your weight, where it's like, all right, well, I won't beat that guy, but I'm at the top of the next group there is.
Right.
But it's just funny when he's a medal threat. It's like, well, everyone there's a medal threat, right?
Yeah. The margin's so thin that, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree. It's just kind of weird. Okay. So
we the rest of those cadets, those guys are going to go tomorrow morning, starting here in about 5.5 hours. Well, I guess the medal matches, we start women's wrestling tomorrow in 5.5 hours. The medal matches won't go for another 13 hours, but, I think that, let's go. Hopefully we have a good day tomorrow, get a couple more medals and finish off the freestyle section right. And hopefully the women get us going tomorrow.
Oh, and also, last year we had 2 women's medalists and, just 1 gold in Greco. So the bar's set fairly low for us to outdo that, I guess.
There we go. I'm kind of glad we did not record last night, because I would have guaranteed a Kirkwood win. So I'm glad we did not do that.
We can edit. I mean, we can't edit.
No,
we don't know what
you
the
and I
heck
are not editing anything.
I mean, we can make a call or send a text and say, Nick, can you please edit this?
At 25 minutes in, Mack said something stupid. He was wrong.
Because we know Tony Hager wouldn't edit. He would just run with it.
Yeah,
But Nick Reiter, got to give props to Nick Reiter.
Yeah, he would take care of us.
He would take care of us.
Tony is going to try and make us look dumb any chance he gets.
You know, be stuck in an airport somewhere in Tennessee, whatever, just not being able to edit it, I would say.
I saw, one of our Pinnacle girls that's wrestling over there in Cadet, she got her draw. She weighed in and got her draw. She has a Romanian first round who got 5th in the Cadet Euros this year. So I don't know if that's good, bad, or indifferent, but Emily, she's a 95-pounder, so little girl, but she's pretty tough. I think that, hey, she's a medal threat. I'll say that.
There's at least 4 worse people she could have drew first round from the Euros.
Yeah. Euros alone.
Well, I mean, yeah, she got 5th, so at least 4, right?
And she did get 2nd in the Cadet Worlds last year, too, so. Emily did, so. She's
a little good, maybe.
Yeah, she's not bad.
Not bad. Good deal. All right, it'll be real interesting to see how Greco and women go. Obviously, like we've said before, we're not quite as into it as the other stuff, but I will no doubt check it and see how it goes. So.
Yep.
All right.
That covers our cadet championships a little bit. We'll recap the rest of it maybe next week on, touch on some stuff. Hopefully we got a couple women titles we can talk about and a couple Greco titles.
How excited were you when you saw that picture on Twitter of Willie Saylor fake getting arrested?
Was it a fake?
It had to have been.
I am in the camp that does not believe that was a fake.
All right, let's go with this then.
I think that, that was a real picture. And how awesome is that? That's, you're not going to trash a guy, but I thought it was pretty funny and very fitting.
Well, I would assume it's because he's a person of interest in the Sam Stoll shooting, right?
It could be that. He doesn't like Iowa, right? That's their running joke all the time.
Penn State Willie.
Penn State Willie, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So for sure, Iowa was getting a little too high on their horse there.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta knock them back down a peg or two.
Yep. So does this mean with that arrest? Does this mean with that arrest that we can eliminate Cael from as being a person of interest?
Yeah. Well, Cael's a guy. Cael has a fall guy for everything. Cael's not a guy that does the dirty work. Cael will have some pawn do his dirty work for him.
Okay. That's smart of him. Very smart. The guy's not dumb. We know that.
No.
Mm-hmm. So Willie's his fall guy. All right. So does he have to get another one now that Willie's in jail?
He's got fall guys everywhere. They're like just rogue agents just waiting for the call, like, to be activated and, like they're spies.
Oh man. All right. I could see that.
Sleeper cells. That's the one I was going for. He's got sleeper cells all across the country just waiting for the call to be activated and into action.
Oh man, that could be a fun game. All right, everyone tweet at us most likely sleeper cells for Cael Sanderson.
Yes, the top 5 Cael Sanderson sleeper cells ready to be launched into action. God. All right, I also want to participate in this. I'm going to work on it tonight.
Okay, yeah, everyone tweet at us. Okay, this I also thought of it. I was thinking of this today. Who do you think is the most influential person in wrestling who's listened to an entire one of our podcasts?
Jason Bryant.
Oh man, setting the bar low, huh?
No way. Jason Bryant can get things done. And I know that he's listened to at least multiple podcasts of ours because we included his name to get his attention. And he also texts me saying he's a huge Angels fan and he wants to know the Mike Trout story.
I'm just laughing because I feel like he's never went from so excited, like, oh yeah, me, to me just totally trashing it.
Yeah, the only other people we got are Eddie and your dad.
And we've put Dan Gable's name in a couple titles.
Yeah,
but there's no way he knows how to use technology, is there?
I would love to see the people that have actually listened to this. Like, if I got a list of the names of people.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Did Dan Gable listen to the Dan Gable story, and is he now further disappointed in me that I clearly am not taking his passive-aggressive suggestions to heart, and I'm not, doing a 180 in my current life track?
Episode 15 title, Does Dan Gable Know How to Use Technology? ?
I would guess that somebody had to download the podcast for him.
Yeah, I mean, the guy still works out probably, so what does he listen to when he works out? He's got to listen to something, doesn't he?
I love podcasts when I work out.
I agree. They're great.
Yeah.
So,
hopefully
I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully he's into it.
I was hoping to be like a Cael Sanderson, like, oh, I see my name, Google search to this. I'm going to listen to this thing. Because what else is Cael Sanderson doing? He's not doing much coaching. He just gets the best recruits in the country, so he doesn't have to do any coaching.
I've heard he's a big gamer.
I heard that too.
I've heard he plays a lot of video games.
Yes, I've heard that too. Very reliable source.
Was it me?
I don't know. Maybe you were in on this cut. No, I don't think so.
But yeah, that's what I've heard. So maybe, when you're hacking away on the sticks there, Cael, maybe just put us on.
I could just totally see him in one of those little video chairs, those little rocking chairs, and he's got like 17 Mountain Dews to his right, and he's got his headset on.
Some little 10-year-old kids talking trash to him.
Absolutely. I could totally see that. Because I don't think the guy drinks, right? Because he's...
No, I don't think
so what do people do that don't drink? I don't understand what they fill the rest of their life with.
I don't want to know.
I don't care to know either. I didn't know if you knew. I don't know why I would ask you, though.
Do you think that I run in a lot of circles with people that don't drink?
No, not really.
Okay. Let's get back on track here.
Track? There's a track?
We're off the rails.
I don't know. Where are we going? I think I'm out of jokes. All of my jokes that I type up during the week, my one-liners, they're gone.
Well, the Sam Stoll situation you kind of talked about a little bit, but, and you kind of asked a little bit about me before. What does a lot of this mean? Where does the university go? And I think that the university is going to do their investigation. I'm sure that, they will. But really, I don't see where they have any grounds to do anything to Sam or anybody else on the team, as long as, from my opinion, from an outsider's perspective, it looks like Sam's fine with what happened. We most likely will never know what happened. I'm guessing we'll never find out.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Mudflat finds out. He's got it, and I would guess he probably never figures it out. Because from what I understood, they were all brought into a meeting and told, you will never speak a word of this ever again. And,
you know more than I do then.
Yeah. So I'm guessing it's going to stay quiet, and if it does, and Sam Stoll doesn't want to try and pursue any legal action or any disciplinary action, then it's taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a lot of people making jokes about, well, I guess we should just have them write a letter or something, comparing it to the Minnesota thing with J-Rob. And obviously J-Rob's situation is much more serious than, what happened here, and, the whole Minnesota thing. But at the end of the day, if Tom Brands doesn't want to talk to the university, then he doesn't have to. And there's no possible way the university could fire him over this. Like, he didn't do anything, and he's not protecting anybody. And if Sam Stoll doesn't want to talk, then it can stay between what it seems like two people were involved. I'm sure, yeah, there's like some jail time and like a $650 fine is what Sam Stoll could be looking at from the police. I'm guessing there will be 0 days spent in jail, which she shouldn't have to, and maybe like a $50 fine. It's not going to be anything serious because he wasn't like criminally trying to give false information. He was just, he could claim I was in a state of shock. I just got shot. Like, I'm sorry I didn't give you the exact details of the situation. And I think he'd be just fine. So, from my opinion, nothing will happen and nothing should happen. And unfortunately, we're likely never to know what did happen.
Hey, I once ran from a party the cops busted that was at my own house, so I'm not going to fault the guy.
What happened in that situation?
I don't know. Let's see. What year is it?
Are you still running?
2018.
Statute of limitations is what, 7 years?
Is that what it is? Can I trust you on this?
Yes. I think it's 7.
Are you sure?
Go with it. What's the worst that could happen?
Was that a party at my house? I was of age. My brother was not. I grabbed him. I ran. We were in the cornfield watching. The cops came, and we just watched them from the cornfield. Like, okay, well, hey, I can just say I was at my parents' house sleeping that night, right?
Yeah.
And apparently that worked. So there we go.
They can't prove you were there.
Yeah. Unless they listen to this podcast. So, yeah, just, if there's a party at your house, just run and say, no, I was not there that weekend at all. I was not there.
I can't believe my own friends would have a party at my house while I wasn't there. I think it varies by crime, on the years.
Yeah, there was no gun involved in that. So
quick Google search here. It looks like, it varies by crime.
But kind of seriously, still not seriously. The only reason it's kind of a story is because a gun was involved. And hey, nobody got seriously hurt. Like, hey.
Sam Stoll was out of the hospital the next day. I'm guessing it couldn't have been too bad. It's not like his leg got blown off.
Yeah. Let's speculate here, since obviously we don't know any more than what we just said. So I also read that too. Released the next. He didn't even stay overnight, did he? Because
I think he stayed overnight.
Okay, maybe. But yeah, so it couldn't have been that bad, right?
No. I don't think it was. I don't think there was any structural damage. I don't think it's going to affect Sam in any way next year, which I'm glad. I don't want it to. The kid has had a real tough go at it, and I'd like to see him healthy for a whole year. But that being said, he's probably going to lose, a month of good training here, maybe more. That's not exactly what you want going into your senior year.
Dude, they're heavyweights. He'll remember how to just push people out of bounds. He'll be fine. He won't lose that.
They're heavyweights, but it's still that senior year, man. I've learned to not bet on somebody your senior year. You're always going to have exceptions to the rule. Don't get me wrong. But you look at a lot of people, and I'm not trying to pick on Iowa specifically, but you look at a fair amount of those guys, and a lot of it's injury because your body just can't hold up. Like McDonough. McDonough was hurt. McDonough was banged up. Corey Clark was banged up, but you know what? He had his best year his senior year. Some guys figure it out. But then, you look at Sorensen. His worst year is his senior year. Right?
Yeah. Okay, wow, you accidentally kind of teed me up for somewhere where I actually have a little bit of wrestling expertise.
Go ahead.
So my freshman, sophomore, junior year, I didn't finish how I wanted to. I ended up breaking my hand in football my senior year before wrestling, and I was burnt out on wrestling. I was done. I didn't want to do it anymore. I was going to do it. I wouldn't say I was going to go through the motions. I was going to do more than that. I was going to get my best, but I just don't know if I could have done it just going straight like that. So I broke my hand. I was basically out, 3 months. I could run, all that stuff, but I couldn't wrestle. And it was a huge refresher for me. Like, just sitting back and watching the first half of the season, just watching tournaments. I even would say I picked up on more stuff just watching people wrestle. And I'm not going to say this is definitely what Sam Stoll's going to do, but I mean, it's just, I don't know, sometimes, occasionally, I would not even say more often than not, guys just need a little break of where they're not expected to do anything. Like, hey, you have a bullet hole through your knee. Maybe just sit out a couple days or something.
And Sam Stoll's wrestled for 15 years. He knows how to wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he just needs a little break so that he wants to wrestle, and not that he doesn't already, but like it really drives him. And so that when he gets in that room the first day he can go, man, he's laser focused and he's all in, and you only have to do it for 3 months and then you're done forever and you can be done forever. I kind of look back at my career. I wish I wouldn't have had to make weight my whole senior year. I was broke down and beaten up by the end of the year. But, the team, back then we didn't, I think that it's amazing how much better we've got at training athletes in the last decade. Because I feel like I was a perfect example of somebody that was just needed some time off. But back then you didn't give people time off. You didn't do it because you just didn't. And you just wrestled. You figured it out, you toughed it out, and you just wrestled. And in reality, God, I wish they'd have told me, hey, you got 2 weeks. Go do whatever you want. Go get drunk. Go have fun. And then come back and we'll push it hard for the last month and a half. I wasn't going to fall out of shape. I was you're in great shape. You don't have to worry about that. You know how to wrestle. You're not going to forget how to wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, the mind is so incredibly powerful that, like, why, make sure your mind is happy. Make sure you're happy and you're excited. Then you're going to wrestle hard. But when you've been going through the grind for 15 straight years, it's tough to be excited still.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, that'd have been a perfect opportunity. Like, it'd have been, I mean, you can't do it, but it'd have been great if you had like a hand injury, like, hey, all right, Mack, you can't wrestle for 2 months. You're going to be totally fine after that. 2 months where you'll just run, whatever, but no wrestling. There are some select people that I think would be a huge benefit. It's crazy. But
I advocated for that this year with Jake Short with Minnesota. I obviously never said that to the Minnesota coaches, but I said they should just tell Jake Short, look, man, I don't want to see you for 2 weeks. Go be a college senior. Go have fun. We'll see you in 2 weeks. We'll get it figured out, and you'll be ready to go.
It'd be so awesome to see an experiment where you have two clone Jake Shorts where you could say, hey, you do this, you do that. But it'll never happen, obviously.
It's easy for me to say on this podcast when my job's not on the line.
Yeah, that too. But I mean, but seriously, like, just looking, it'd be great to do an experiment. Like, hey, this Jake Short. Hey, go get drunk for 2 weeks.
He's struggling right now with something, and he needs something different. What can we do differently? Because if we keep doing what we're doing, it's not going to work out. It's not. There is no magic switch that's flipped when we don't change anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. And I feel like for me, like, having kind of been through that, and I always, this kind of goes back to my all senior team that we'll talk about come the fall when I'm ready to release this year's all senior team. But I feel like having kind of gone through that, I know the telltale signs, and I know what I can pick out a guy, and I know on the message boards they call it the Q or whatever, HEW, that had enough wrestling, and I don't like that. I like senior alert way better. But I don't know. It's just that's a long topic we can dive into more on a later podcast. But I think just, I strongly believe it goes back to we as a sport do not train the mind enough. I saw a tweet that I really liked earlier this week about, you always hear wrestling's 90% mental and 10% physical, but we only train the physical. When do we ever train the mental? And why not start each practice, sit down to yourself. You got 5 minutes. Think to yourself, what do you want to work on today? What do you want to get better at today? Put the process in your head so that you have your immediate goals of where am I going to get better at today? You got direction. I don't know.
I've always said, kind of looking at it, the best way to do wrestling practice is you warm up, you drill, you get your heart rate up a little bit so you're loose, and then you do conditioning as hard as you can, and then you go right into your technical drilling of, just real, not even like full speed, just real slow, do it as you're tired.
Yeah.
And there's some refining there. That's not like, all these college coaches are going to listen and go, we're going to do what Eric said. But I just feel like there's something there to more drilling as you're dead tired. And also, like, even a couple episodes ago, we talked about, heart rates is such a huge thing. Like, maybe when you're busting these guys' butts to where they're, like, throwing up, maybe you're not getting anything. Maybe the way to do it is have them just slightly out of breath or heart rate elevated, and there's where you train. You look at the same studies I have that you're kind of throwing away your workout once your heart rate gets so high. It's not really helping you get better.
Your body goes to the quickest, easiest things it can grab.
Yeah.
And it grabs your sugar fat or your sugar calories and it just burns through that, and then you're going to put those back in immediately. And nothing, you gained very, very little from it.
Yep.
But I would never be confused as a nutritionist. So.
Neither would I. So there we go.
Long story short, Sam Stoll is going to be fine. University of Iowa is going to be fine.
This was a Sam Stoll segment? Okay.
It started as a Sam Stoll segment, and then it transitioned into me, you and I kind of making the connection that maybe this is a blessing.
Yep.
Take some time off, and then we talked about it. But, I don't think anything should happen, and I hope nothing does happen.
Agreed. I'm an Iowa fan. You're not.
I am 100% not an Iowa fan, and I don't want to see anything happen.
There we go. Both ends of the spectrum.
Yes.
How long is this podcast?
Right now, we're sitting at 47 minutes. We're closing in on it.
Oh, nice. So what's left? Anything?
Well, I screwed up. Hand up. I said last week we were going to start our match review segment. Hand up. I did not do my research and did not pick a match for us to watch. So next week, guys, next week we're going to pick a match, and you guys got to watch it. And Eric and I are going to give our differing opinions, hopefully, on kind of what's going on in the match and, kind of the little inner details of it and what we think, and hopefully we offer different perspectives. Maybe we do that one week and we realize the segment sucks, but we're going to do this segment. This is going to happen.
I feel like we've set a pretty high bar for 15 straight weeks saying, we're going to do this. And we haven't.
Yeah. We're big over promise, under deliver, guys.
Absolutely. Very serious about not being serious is how I like to call it. Okay.
Anything else?
I don't know. I was thinking maybe today that our closing segment should be each week we make a bet and then like you said with the Kuhn Wisdowski thing, and then the loser has to close out the episode next week. And so this is kind of weird to do it right now in the middle of nowhere. I don't know what you got. You got Ramos, this Ramos guy from the U.S. who I've never watched wrestle a match in his life. You think he's going to win?
Okay. Right now, U.S. has guaranteed 3 medals.
Okay. Here we go. This is better.
Guaranteed 4 medals in cadet freestyle.
Okay.
We have a chance for 3 more.
7, yep.
7 total freestyle. This is going to be a bet for next week, so we'll have all of women's and Greco involved. I'm going to set the bar at an over-under. I'll let you pick which side you want.
Okay.
I think the bar should be set at 11.5 medals.
Oh, under.
You're going under?
Oh, I got under.
Damn it. You jumped on that right away. If I had said 9.5, where would you got? I mean, the batter's 11.5. You're taking under. That's
11.5 or 9.5 would have been a great line where I had to think about it. So,
whoops. I was in between 10.5 and 11. All right, 11.5. That's the line.
Okay.
Come on, girls.
11. 11. Come on, girls. I know the Greco isn't going to pull their weight.
We have 4 right now. We can get 7 in freestyle. I think I'm good.
I'd be sweating a little bit, yeah, for sure. At that point, so.
But I'd still need 5 more. All right, come on, girls.
Oh, come on, girls. Okay, please don't. Well, girls do fine. Greco, yeah, just suck it up a little bit. Okay.
Okay, homework for this week. Mack's got to pick a match. Dang it.
Yep.
We're going to do that. And then also we got to, who are Cael's sleeper cells?
Oh, there we go. That's right. Do I have any other homework?
I think you're good.
I think I'm good. No homework this way. Okay.
Figure out that mosquito problem in Gilbertville.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It keeps waking up my freaking kid when they drive around spraying these, from this truck with, whatever. Yeah. Try to figure that out. Okay. So is this where I try to end this, or you got anything else?
No, I think you got to end it.
Oh, God. I'm not ready. Okay. We didn't give a shout out to our sponsor, Elite Sports. This is where I say the website that I forgot to look up again, but just Google Elite Sports. You guys will find stuff.
Yeah.
Shirts, all kinds of apparel, memorabilia. They'll.
Patty Rose is the best. We're getting did we talk about it last night? We're getting our shirts, our tank tops done for the Bosco softball tournament.
Oh, okay. You're doing tank tops for softball?
We're doing tanks, yeah. Hopefully nobody else copies that. I actually bet we're the only ones with matching team uniforms for this thing. That's coming up 2 weeks.
Which is next weekend, right?
Yeah. Well, not this coming weekend.
Well, yeah.
But the week after.
Weekend.
Yeah. Yep. So we're coming down. We're going to be, maybe we do a in-person live recording together. In between the first round we lose and before we play our first round backside match.
You know how this podcast works. You're setting the bar way too high, way too early.
Yeah. But we're going to, Elite Sports taking care of us, I think, for those. So we're going to have the best uniforms in the business.
Hey, and if other people want to sponsor us, talking to my dad and you, Eddie's brother.
Reiter Construction.
Eddie.
How does Reiter Construction not sponsor us?
Because Reiter Construction just found out about us a day ago, the way you made it sound.
Reiter Construction found out about us, but also podcasts in general yesterday. Eddie just learned what podcasts were this past weekend. He's pretty excited about it. So I would tell you guys to tweet at Eddie other great podcasts to listen to, but I don't think Eddie knows what Twitter is yet either. So if you run into Eddie ever, probably at a bar somewhere, give him some suggestions.
All right. I have no funnier jokes than that. That is a great ending point for this. We'd like to give, like I said, thanks again to Nick Reiter. He's our head producer. Screw Tony Hager.
The guy in the truck.
We've cut Tony Hager out of Episode 15 was what you just listened to. It was sort of an episode. You probably won't listen to it tomorrow. It's 4th of July. Rate, subscribe, all those things that people say. I don't remember. Just rate us. Give us a rating. And yeah, there we go. Hopefully you win or I win next week, so you can close this.
You're going to cheer for the America to not get 12 medals.
Yeah.
That's what you just said.
Well, I mean, I just did it throughout the World Cup because America wasn't there. So I've grown very accustomed to cheering for teams that aren't America.
On the eve of our nation's birth, you are cheering for us to not win medals.
It's not birth yet. I mean, a couple hours away.
Yeah, that's what I said. On the eve.
Yeah.
It's the day before.
Yeah. Is that what that means?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me do the math quick. Yeah, you're right. That is what that means. Yeah. All right. I've had too many Michelob Ultras. This is where this podcast...
Do you think Michelob Ultra will ever sponsor us?
Yeah. There's a good shot.
Austin Brooks Koepka and Chris Pratt.
Yep. I mean, yeah.
Thanks, Michelob Ultra.
100%.
All right.
Okay. Abrupt ending of this podcast now.